So according to the internet, 900,000 tons of pumpkins are grown in the United States, and only 98% of them actually get consumed by anything. The rest of them just get... Well, Halloween was 2 months ago, and this one still sounds pretty good. Now, not only does wasting pumpkins, get a bad rap, but so do wood stoves for some reason. Man, people get bent out of shape. You're killing the environment. You're this, you're 12 other things. You know what else kills a lot of people? Being frozen. Kind of satisfying. Well, we're certainly not the wasteful type around here now, are we? No, sir. Oh yeah, ragging on wood stoves and wasting pumpkins, and everybody needs a podium, I guess, to stand on. Maybe that's it. Did you know that the average pumpkin has 500 seeds in it? 500 seeds. I once read a book. It was about all these interesting ways that people had made their fortunes. We're going to save that for the goats. They like to eat the guts. They don't like the shell of the pumpkin. Anyhow, I read this book about these folks and a bunch of interesting ways that they made money. And competitive pumpkin growing is a big deal. Some parts of the world. And so they grow these monster pumpkins, and they keep the seeds out of them. And you would not believe how much these seeds were worth. They're like just a $1 million business selling pumpkin seeds. They're delicious too, roasted up. Make ourselves a little scraping stick here. I don't mind getting my hands gooky, but it's kind of cold in there too. Now here's the other thing that's funny about wood stoves. There's always a strive for efficiency, they're always on and on about more and more efficient designs of wood stove. Well, over in Europe and other countries, to my understanding, and through research, there are extremely efficient wood burning appliances. And by efficient, I mean not only do they produce a lot less smoke and utilize the fuel better, but you also don't burn them all the time because they have boiler systems. Now, if you're familiar with a boiler, it essentially is going to heat a liquid and then use that liquid to heat the building through radiators or radiant floor heat or some form or function like this, heat exchangers. There's lots of different variations. Well, us Canadians, we can't be trusted to possess such technology because, well, a boiler system becomes an enclosed system, and an enclosed system is pressurized. And where we're at here, well, like a lot of things, you guessed it, you need yourself a special license to operate one. You can't just be having any Tom, Dick, and Harry ordering up the old wood boiler from across the ocean and having her shipped over, because it's not Canadian certified. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously not without good reason. Dang, a lot of people can't even be trusted to change the oiler in their car, never mind maintain a boiler system so it doesn't, explode and grenade the neighborhood. But now, obviously, it's important. Every wood stove needs a door. Every door is going to need itself a hinge. There you go. A little hinge action like that. You want to trim that hinge off flush here because we're professionals. You want a sexy looking operation. Isn't that nice? You got a handle. Every wood stove needs a handle and a door, right? That's good stuff. All right, another critical component of a wood stove is a chimney. And a wood chimney, well, the stovepipe needs to be made out of metal. So it's real important that if you're going to have a wood burning appliance, that you use a certified proper chimney. But it's got to be metal. So this might take a minute, this part of the project, because we got to source the material first for the metal chimney. Do you hear that? Nothing. I'm almost there. Now, of course, the wood stove thing's an easy target because, you know, wood and smoke and scary, dangerous. But a lot of the push now is towards all this things that are electric cars and all that sort of thing. I don't really get into that too much. It's not economical or feasible. Where I'm at right now, I can't pull my tool trailer with a Tesla, so. But it was crazy. There's this fella, I won't forget his name now. He's on TikTok and Instagram reels and all this sort of thing. And he's a firefighter guy. And anyways, he's talking about electric cars. It said that it could take upwards of 40,000 gallons of water to put out a car fire, an electric car fire, because the intensity that the battery burns at and how long it goes. And in fact, apparently there's been cases where they submerge the car, have to completely submerge the car underwater for weeks before it stops self-igniting again. Isn't that insane? Like, how, you know, you tell me that a couple blocks of firewood's a bad thing? Holy smokes. Maybe they create a hood that you could put over this electric car fire, you know, and heat a couple shops with it or something. All right. I managed to bear down long enough to secure the material here. Now, you're gonna wanna do, once you got your safety rated chimney, the chimney diameter is important based on the size of the wood stove. You wanna get the correct draw. So, you know, you don't want one too big, you don't want one that's too small. You don't want to crush the chimney, because you'd hate to have to, I'd hate to have to drink another one of these to procure another chimney if I wreck this one. All right. Oh, we got that. Make sure it's dry, you know, we don't want to be extinguishing the party before we even get started. Sometimes you just gotta have some fun. You just gotta do something just because it's fun, you know? A little silly project to make you smile. Because things can get way too serious, way too fast these days. Oh, that axe is satisfying. It's like somebody sharpened it. That's a life skill everybody should possess. You should be able to comfortably cut kindling with an axe and have all your digits after. Get your little wood pile ready there. All about preparation. We gotta quicken the pace here. My fingies are frozen. Pumpkins aren't that warm. I don't know if you know that. So we got our proper size chimney fitted. Oh, we got our satisfying little door hinge here that popped open. And then I've said this in previous videos. Are you a stacking kind of guy? You like to build a little teepee out of your firewood? What do you like to do? Personally, I like to stack it. Oop, that's got a little snow on it. And in this case, I don't think we're gonna have a lot of choice. She's tight quarters. There we go. You ever notice how pumpkin don't actually smell like anything to do with pumpkin spice? You know, that time of season, Halloween and Christmas and all this sort of thing. It never smells right. I like to smell a real pumpkin best. I think it smells good. Less sugar, obviously. What did I say? Sometimes you just have to do things for fun, you know? I don't say this in the videos a lot, right? But what I'm trying to do is every once in a while give folks something to talk about, you know? There's just too much mundane goes on in the day-to-day sometimes. You know, tomorrow's Monday. Some folks are gonna have to go back to work. I know I do. And, you know, maybe you just want something to talk about. You know, maybe that's all we're doing here. It's just giving you something a little bit humorous to talk about, because what are the chances that, you know, someone else is going to say, oh yeah, I seen a guy make a wood stove out of a pumpkin once. Oh man, I'll tell you. Is it warm? Oh yeah, it's pleasant. It's like very pleasant. I cut a vent hole in the back too. It was struggling for air, but I'm telling you, if you ever found yourself stranded in a pumpkin patch, it'd keep you from freezing to death. What's going on there? Yeah, you gotta take something that was working perfectly fine, eh, and wreck it. Couldn't help it. Couldn't help it. Uh-oh. The chimney parted ways. You got to be careful. You get a chimney fire and that's what happens. Can't take a joke. It doesn't smell like a pumpkin spice latte out here, I'll tell you that. But like I was saying, sometimes you just got to do things just for fun. Just because. Here's the director's cut. Behind the scenes. How does one come to make a pumpkin wood stove? Well, you just clean up a few items in the garage, and next thing you know, you're fashioning yourself the world's most eco-friendly wood stove ever invented. That smells like, well, it doesn't smell like Grandma's kitchen, I'll tell you that. I think she's gonna smolder its last puff here. Our daylight's dying, so I might just mosey on inside. There's not always a point to a video, but sometimes the very point is just to have a good time, and well, heck, I think we've done that. So if you ever wondered it possible, can you make a wood stove out of a pumpkin? Well, definitely so. And if you decide to make a wood stove out of something else, be sure to let me know. We'll catch you on the next adventure.